the beginning of my freshman year, I lost the hearing in my left ear, and I panicked because the tiny little irrational part of my brain was like, this came out of the blue, you have no idea why this happened, what's to stop your other ear from going too? And so I panicked, and I did some frantic research. I looked up what life was like without sound for deaf people, because I thought that was about to be my life. I thought that I was going to go completely deaf, so I learned basic American Sign Language, and I prepared myself because I thought that's what was coming. And coincidentally, around the time that I was doing my research, a company called Deaf West was bringing a show to Broadway. Deaf West is a company based in North Hollywood, founded around 1991, and their purpose is to provide theater, make it accessible for deaf audiences for whom theater would not normally be accessible because they can't hear what's going on stage. They actually brought Spring Awakening to Broadway. Spring Awakening is based on a German play. It's written by Stephen Slater, and it's got music by Duncan Sheik. And the summary of the show is it's about lost and longing teenagers and the adults who refuse to listen to them. It was originally on Broadway in 2006, and then it left Broadway, and then Deaf West got a hold of it, made a revival out of it, and made it deaf accessible. Parts of the show were changed or enhanced to incorporate American Sign Language. American Sign Language and English were actually used simultaneously in the show, which is pretty cool. The directors of the show actually used a lot of symbolism, which I thought was pretty cool. The entire theme of the show is that the adults aren't listening to their children, so they had the children signing, and the adults were refusing to listen to them. Several of the actors were completely deaf. They could not hear a thing. So they couldn't rely on hearing audio cues like hearing actors can. So they relied on visual cues, and they had to know their rhythms so well, because if a hearing actor gets off beat, they can listen to the music and fix themselves. Deaf actors don't have that luxury. So deaf actors have to be crazy good at keeping the beat and keeping the rhythm, and they're amazing at it. Many of the cast members have actually spoken out against the previous total lack of deaf representation on Broadway. One of the actresses said, I was a young girl starting out doing theater, young deaf girl, 7 years old, and no one would take me because nobody thought that a deaf girl could make it big in theater. Everyone wants to see themselves on stage. It's we want to see ourselves represented, if not on an actual stage, then in the media. We want to see ourselves represented. We want to see people like us represented. And that's why a diverse Broadway is a better Broadway. I love the quote by Neil Patrick Harris. It's during the opening for the 2013 Tony Awards, and he says, so if we might reassure that kid and do something to spur that kid, because I promise you all of us up here tonight on stage, we were that kid. And he's actually referring to the kids who go see Broadway shows, the kids who watch the Tony Awards. I remember when I saw my first Broadway show, and there were actually child actors in the cast, and so I looked at those child actors and I thought, oh my gosh, I can do this. Like, they're doing it, why can't I do it? And it's actually what got me into theater, because it's crazy powerful to see someone like you doing something that you love, because it makes you realize that you can do it too. And so now deaf children who've previously been told probably that they can't ever do theater because they can't hear the musical cues, they can look and see these amazing deaf actors going and doing it and being amazing at it and absolutely slaying it and killing it. Because the message that I think that Broadway sends is that you can do anything, no matter who you are, and you can't let anything stop you. Just go out and do what you want and show the world that it doesn't matter who you are or what kind of impairments you have weighing you down. What matters is that somewhere out there someone is representing you and someone is inspiring you to go out and do exactly what they're doing and do what you love. Don't let anyone stop you.